Hello, amazing people. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. How you all doing, guys? Hope you're doing great today, and I hope you're generally fine. Today, I want to show you how to make this very beautiful and stylish Bubu gown with a ruffle sleeve, and of course, you see that ruffle designs on the yoke. Yes, so this is what we're going to be making today, and let's get to the drafting table. So the fabric I'm going to use here is this beautiful African print, and I also have my working tools alongside. So I'm just going to go ahead now and measure out the amount of fabric that I need. So I'm going to work with the full length of this gown, and for this person the full length is actually 53 inches. Okay, 53 inches is what I need for the full length. Then I'm going to add extra 2 inches for allowance. Okay, so that's going to be what, 55. 53 plus 2, that's 55. So I'll be cutting this along the yardage. So here I have it, what you can see, placing my tape. So I'll start measuring 55. I'm going to measure 55 twice because I have to do this for both the front and the back piece. So I have my 55 measured twice, then I'll go ahead and cut it all out. So once I'm done, then I'll go ahead and fold this into 2 equal parts. 55 twice folded into 2. Okay, so once I have this folded into 2 along the yardage, then I'll fold it again along the width. Okay, so you can see this, and so we have it folded into 4. So this way we are going to cutting out for both the front and the back piece together. Now what I'm going to do now is to just confirm my actual length. So when you're folding your fabric like this, it would be nice to just give some extra 1 inches before you cut out, because sometimes when you're done folding, you might just have some little shortages here and there. So when I was cutting that 55, I actually cut out like 56. Okay, when I was cutting out my fabric. Okay, yes, so now I have folded it. You can see I'm just trimming out some excesses there, and the excess is about 0.5 inches. So which means if I have not added that extra 1 inches, I could have short by 0.5. I hope you understand. Yeah, so here it is. Now I'm just confirming my full length here, which is 55. You can see already. Now I'm going to start indicating the vertical lines. So from the very top, I will indicate the chest line. So I'm marking the chest line there at 9 inches. Okay, chest line for 9. Then the next vertical line is going to be the waistline. So the waistline there, I'm indicating that at 17 inches. 9 inches for the chest line, waistline at 17 inches. Then the next vertical line is going to be the hip line. So the hip line there at 24. Okay, yes, so that's the 3 vertical points we have, and of course the full length of the gown. So I'll go ahead now and convert all these points to a straight line, just like you see me doing. So once I'm done that, of course, you go ahead and label it all: the chest line, the waistline, and the hip line. Now the next thing I'm going to do now is to indicate the shoulder width. Now for this person, the shoulder width is 17. So 17 divided by 2 is 8.5. So I'll indicate that down. Okay, but I'm marking using my 3 by 8 inches mark. I need to get my slope, so I marked 8 inches first, then I now marked my 3 inches. Okay, yes, so on that 8 inches I came down by 1 inch for my slope. So I'll go ahead and get my slope. So once I extend my slope upward, then I can now indicate the shoulder width which is supposed to be 17 divided by 2, and that is 8.5. So you can see I'm indicating my shoulder width at 8.5 there on the slope. You can see that. All right, so the next thing, of course, now is to extend my shoulder width all the way to the chest line, so that we can create our armhole. So you can see I've done that now. So at that point now, in order to get my armhole from the slope to the chest line, I'll get the midpoint and come in by 0.5. So at that point, I'll be able to create my front armhole, and that's what I'm doing now. After my front armhole, from the same center point, I'll also create what's my back armhole, and this is it. So this is what we have here. You can see now on the chest line we indicate the bust circumference. So the bust circumference for this person is 44. So 44 divided by 4, and that is 11. And because this is a Bubu gown, so I added extra 4 inches. Now this 4 inches what is inclusive of the seam allowance. On the waistline it was 42 divided by 4, and that was 10.5, and I also added what the extra 4 inches. Now for the hip line was what 46 divided by 4, and that's 11.5, and I also added what my extra 4 inches. You can see this. Then I'll go ahead what and connect all the points together from the chest line to the waistline and then to the hip line. Now on the lowest part now, which is the hem of the gown, I'll also indicate what my hip circumference, which is 46 divided by 4, and that was 11.5. I marked that down, added the extra 4 inches, and went ahead to add another extra 3 inches as well on the lower part. Okay, so just to give this more ease on the lower part, in terms of movement. Yeah, but it's also not, it's optional though, but I choose to add that extra 3 inches again. So here we have it. You can see we have our gown drafted. Then in order to eliminate that sharp edge, so I went up by 2 inches and just created a curve by the side. This is also optional. Okay, this is optional. So yeah, that's it there. So that's it for the side drafting. Then for the pocket, I decided to make what a cut together pocket. Okay, so from the hip line there, I came down by 1.5 inch from that hip line there. Then from that point, I'm going to make an outer curve towards what the waistline as well. So in between the waistline and that 1.5 inches below the hip line, you make an outer curve like you see me doing, and that will be the cut together pockets. So this works very well for a very free dress, a Bubu dress. So this works very well. All right, now for the neck measurements, I'm going to be working with a neck width of 4. Now for a neck depth, I'll be using a neck depth of 3.5. Now this neck depth for 3.5 will be for the back neckline. Neck width of 4, neck depth of 3.5. While for the front neckline, I'm going to be doing a neck depth of 6 inches. But I later, increase it to 7 inches. Okay, I later increase it to 7 inches. So for the front, I did more like a slanted V. You can see that's what we have here. And guys, we're done guys. So the next thing of course is to go ahead and start cutting this out. So this is the time you have to take and hit the subscribe button in case you've not done that. Okay, please subscribe to my channel if you haven't done that yet, on the notification bell so that you always get notified whenever I upload my content on this channel. And of course, don't forget to like, share with friends, share with sewing communities. I'll really appreciate this a lot. Just like I used to say, don't just watch and go. You find the video helpful, please go further to like, to share. Okay, and of course, drop your comments, observations. It will be well appreciated. Thank you so much, guys, as always. Okay, yes, so going ahead to cut this out, you can see I'm cutting out for the back armhole first, and of course the back neckline first, then of course cut out the slope. So doing this now, you can see what it looks like. Then I can now take off one piece so that we can cut out for what the front armhole and also what the front neckline. Okay, yes, so that's what we'll be doing. So you can see we'll have this. So this is what the neckline looks like. So at this point I have not increased the neckline, so I had to make the adjustment later on because I said I didn't use 6 inches. I had to use 7 inches for the neck depth. That's for the front neckline. So this is what we have here. You can see what this looks. Now for my sleeve length is supposed to be 15 inches, but it's 2 layers. Okay, so the first layer I'm going to make it 7 inches. 7 inches for the first layer, but of course you add extra 1 inches for joining on the dress and also joining on the lower layer, right? So I made it 8 inches what in length. Okay, yes. So going ahead to draft. So this first layer is my basic sleeve, so I'm marking that down and go ahead and mark a straight line. So 7 inches for the length, 1 inches for extra seam allowance added to it. Okay, now to create my basic sleeve, of course, we just indicate the calf's height for an average woman, and I'm working with 4. So 4 inches from the start point to indicate the calf's height, and you go ahead and make a straight line. So on that point, you now indicate the armhole circumference. Now the armhole circumference for this person is 20. So 20 divided by 2 because it's on fold, and that will be 10. So I'll mark 10 and also add extra 1 inches there. So at that point now, you will now create what a slanted line to the edge of the sleeve there, you can see. So this slanted line, we're going to measure it and get the midpoint. So you get the midpoint of this slanted line, you can see indicates the midpoint. So this is what is going to help us create what our inverted S. You can see, just make an inverted S. You come from inside, and on that midpoint you protrude out, and this is how we create our basis. I just need to go through this just to refresh our mind. Okay, yeah, so this is a very simple process of creating what our inverted sleeve. Then on the lower part, we'll now put the round sleeve circumference. So because this is a length of 7, so this sits on the biceps. Okay, so the round sleeve there, just whatever the round sleeve of the person is, divided by 2, and don't forget to add extra 1 inches of allowance. And of course, I'll go ahead and connect this, and that's it. Our basic sleeve is ready. You can see this. So we're done here. So just go ahead and cut this out. Reminding you again not to forget to subscribe in case you've not done that yet. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, share with friends, share with sewing communities. I will always appreciate this a lot. Okay, yes, thank you so much, guys. And let me also use this opportunity to say, if you're new to my channels, thank you so much for stopping by, and of course I welcome you on board. Okay, thank you so much, guys. All right, so our basics is ready, and this is for the first layer. Now to get the second layer, we need to get the measurement there, which is 9 inches on fold, and of course when you open it up, it's going to be what 18 inches. So this 18 inches is what we use to get the circumference of the flare we are going to be fixing on for the second layer. Now for the circumference of my flare, I have to divide it by 6.28, right, to get the circumference. So the 18 divided by 6.28 is going to give me what, about 2.8 thereabout. So I can approximate it to 3, but I choose to approximate it to what, 2.5. Okay, I choose to approximate to 2 because I just want to avoid any unnecessary excesses, so that it can just fit directly on the sleeve. So I'm working with 2.5. Okay, now remember that my second layer, I said, is going to be 8 inches. So I will add 8 inches to that 2.5, and that will be what, 10.5. I hope you understand. The full length of the sleeve is 15 minus the first layer, which was 17. So I'm left with 8 inches in length for the second layer. Add it to the 2.5, and that's how I got my 10.5. Now what I have here now is what I will use to create my flare. You can see I'm making my fold. For this, I'm going to be having 2 circles, because 2 circles, one for one sleeve, another circle for the other sleeve. Okay, so this is actually folded to give me 2 circles. Now I'm going to indicate what my 10.5. So you just use, it depends on what your own measurement is, okay, or how much of your length that you want. Okay, so I'm just marking 10.5. You can see I'm trying to create a curve right here. Right now, after marking that, then I will now mark the circumference. Remember, it is what, 2.5. Okay, so I'll go ahead now and mark that 2.5 here. You can see, just go ahead and create the circumference there. So once you're done, you go ahead and connect the points, and to get the curve. So it's also very important you measure this. So when I'm done measuring it, okay, I should be able to get 18 inches, which will fit into the length of the sleeve. So by the time I measured it, you can see I was getting 4.5. Okay, yeah, and you know it's folded into 4. Okay, so 4.5, if you multiply it by 4, is going to give you what? 18. I hope you understand. So this 18 inches will fit into our sleeve. But because I have this, what I have here is going to give me 2 circles. Okay, so you just have 18 for one sleeve and of course 18 for the other sleeve. So we're done with this. So go ahead and split open the flare like so. You can see this, and by the time you open it up, this is what you have. You can see, and of course I have 2, just like I said, which is going to be what? Fitting directly what? To the round sleeve. So you can see how this looks, right? Yeah, so this is it. So remember also that there is a flare, there's just a ruffle attached to it as well. So I'm going to also be creating a ruffle using the same 18 inches. So for my ruffle, to have a very good ruffle, I have to multiply by my 18 times 3. Okay, you can multiply by 2, you can multiply by 2.5, but I have enough of it, so I need to multiply by 3, and that's going to give me what? A good ruffle. Okay, and the width of this ruffle I'm using here, I want it to be what? 3. So you can see I have to add the hemming allowance and also the joining. So when I'm done, I'll have 3 inches for the width of my ruffle. And of course, I'm measuring now 18. I've counted the first 18. I'm measuring now the second 18. You can see. Then of course, I'm going for the third one, and I have it. Okay, so which means it is 18 times 3. So this is going to give me a good ruffle effect. Okay, yes, so this is what I have, and of course I have 2 of these, one for one sleeve and the other for the other sleeve. So all I need to do is just to create a gathers effect. You can run a gather stitch and pull, or you can also sew directly on the sleeve, whichever one works for you. But I'm going to be creating the the gathers effect, just to have it at 18 inches in length, which will fit my sleeve. Okay, and also my flare, you can see. So I'm going to be attaching everything together. So what I will do now is just to go ahead and hem the bottom of my flare, create my ruffle, so that I'll be able to attach it to the sleeve. Okay, or if you choose to sew it directly as well, you can sew both of them together, whichever one works for you. Okay, yes, so I'm just going to finish all this up later on, and don't forget to hem the edges of the flare. Okay, now for my gown, for the gown I need to create a facing for the neckline. Okay, so this is facing for the back piece. Just place the facing, place it on top of it, right side to right side. You go ahead and sew, notch and turn to the inside, and the same thing for the front neckline as well. You can see I'm also marking my facing because it's a V-shaped one. You can see this. So the width of facing ideally should be 3 inches, 3 inches for the width, or even 3.5. Okay, it's okay for the width of facing. So the same thing, just go ahead and sew and turn to the inside, and that will be it. So when I was done with the facing, you can see what the back neckline looks like. Done with that, and also weave the edges, very important. And at some point I had to put some hemming gum just to put it in place as well. You can see how the neckline is all ready and looking beautiful. So this is it, guys. Now for my sleeve, I've gone ahead to also create my ruffle. Like you can see the ruffle there ready to be attached. And also for my flare, I've also hemmed the edge of my flare there. You can see. So all I need to do is just to go ahead and sew. Just go ahead and sew like so, and my sleeve will be ready to be attached. All right, now for the front neckline, okay, if you notice on the dress, you see that there's a ruffle as well on the yoke part. So we're going to be fixing ruffle. So this is the same ruffle I used for the sleeve as well, so I'm going to be using it for this. So I just need to create a straight line from the center of my neckline. Okay, I came down by 4 inches there. Then on the shoulder, I'm splitting it into two, so I'm just getting the midpoint of my shoulder. You can see I'm indicating it on both shoulder there. Okay, so this is just a guideline. So from that point, I will now draw a slanted line, okay, from the midpoint of my shoulder to meet that 4 inches down the center of my neckline. I hope you can see there's nothing difficult at all. Just if you're confused by any way, just go ahead and go over it again. I'm sure you get it right. Okay, you can see I'm going ahead to make that slanted line, and it has given me a V. So it is this line now I'll use what to attach my ruffle. All I need to do is just to attach my ruffle and top stitch. That's all. But when I placed it, I just realized, oh, I need to come down a little bit more. Okay, so from instead of 4 inches from the center of the neckline, I came down by 6 inches. Okay, so that's what I did. I just readjusted that and redrew the slanted line again, and this is what I'm supposed to get. You can see how beautiful this is looking already. So all I need to do is just to top stitch. So in order to hide those edges, okay, and I now placed my bias. Okay, so this is a bias tape I'm going to be sewing on top of it. You can see, so I'll just sew my bias on it. Sometimes if you have an accessory as well, you can choose to also put an accessory, whatever works for you. All right, yes, so this is it. So this is what I'm going to do, and of course I'll be back. So once I was done, you can see at this point I've already attached my sleeve. You can see how beautiful this is looking already. Yes, so you can see the front piece. I've already attached my ruffle and also fixed my bias as well. So everything is good to go. So the final thing now will be to place the back over the front, right side facing each other. Then go ahead and join the shoulders. After joining the shoulders, then I can now fix my sleeve. After fixing my sleeve, you just go ahead and sew all through from the sleeve there, run it through the armhole, run through the pocket, all the way straight down to the hem of the gown. Repeat the same process for the other side, and the final thing of course will be to hem the hem of the dress. Okay, and guys, this outfit is ready. It's ready, guys, and that is it, guys, on how to make this very beautiful and stylish Bubu gown. Thank you so much, guys, for joining me, and I hope you find this helpful. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. So I'll see you on the next tutorial. And please, guys, let me also introduce you to my DTF printing online class that is ongoing. Okay, DTF printing is a customization process you can use to brand your dresses, your Bubu dresses, shift dresses, t-shirts, fashion accessories like aprons, tote bags, even hair bonnets. Yes, DTF printing will do that for you. So it's a very, very beautiful one, and also a very lucrative business. So see the flyers here. You can go ahead and register. If you know someone who is, please invite them. Thank you, guys.